Max Verstappen is one of the greatest Formula One drivers of all time. It's simple. It's over. It's done and dusted. This idea that we have to debate and discuss whether this man is lucky, whether he's good enough, whether he is top notch, whether he's the creme de la creme. Well, let me tell you something right now. What he is doing in that Red Bull, in this version of Red Bull, is simply sensational. He calls it simply lovely. We totally understand why. But in 2025, have you seen the state of Red Bull in 2025? Have you guys had a peek? Have you guys had a look? Have you seen what has taken place? I mean, let me give you an example. Look at the number 2 drivers that have been at Red Bull. Okay? Remember what Sergio Perez was fired for. Remember what Liam Lawson was brought in for. Remember what Liam Lawson was fired for. And now Yuki Tsunoda, not even getting in the top 10 when Max Verstappen is on pole and winning the race. Max Verstappen is in a car that is clearly not good enough. And by the way, shout out to Laurent Mekies, because he has done a phenomenal job ever since joining Red Bull. You can only imagine the saga and the mischief that was going on at Red Bull, and the fact that he had to come and arrest the situation. He's had to come and arrest it. And you know what? He's done a phenomenal job so far, because I remember his first race, he got a very decent result. Very, very decent result. And now this one, Monza, the home of Ferrari, Italian blood, the prancing horse, the Tifosi, the Temple of Speed. When I think of Temple of Speed, I don't think Red Bull. When I think of straight line speed, I'm not thinking of them at all. No. Absolutely not. But what Max Verstappen was doing over the weekend in Monza was unbelievable. And if you guys are not waking up and smelling the coffee, so all the Max Verstappen haters out there, listen, it's time to put your hate to a side. It's time to cease your hate, because Max Verstappen is just that damn good. He's the best Formula One driver in the world today. Sorry, Lewis Hamilton fans. Sorry to the Fernando Alonso tribe. To the McLaren hive. Look at me, I'm protecting McLaren right now. That's my team. Those are my boys. And McLaren have the best car in the world right now. Max Verstappen's last victory in Formula One in 2025, at the time of recording, before today of course, was Imola. The guy's gone and done the Italian double. He's only gone and done the Italian double. But let's think about this pole position that took place at the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. The fastest ever lap in Formula One history. In a year where Red Bull are nowhere near the prosperity that we expect them to be. In a year where their number 2 drivers don't even make Q3, and if they do, they don't make top 10 at the end of the race. Remember the years of when Red Bull were dominating and we took it for granted? I'm sure Red Bull fans as well said, oh, this is it. We've lived life. But Max Verstappen goes to show. And you know what's funny? The Dutch Grand Prix, I probably mentioned it briefly, but you know that save he done in the first lap when he was overtaking the McLaren and the car was going, it was leaving him, and he saved it? You talk about, Lando Norris having unluck, right? Because of what happened to his car at that Grand Prix. Max Verstappen, when he took that spin in the first lap, he could have easily wiped out either Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri, any one of them. But he saved it, and he got himself some sort of, he came back with some sort of integrity at the end of that race in a car that's not great. But let me go a step further, guys. 20 seconds he's put on the McLarens in Monza. Now, I know the argument might be, listen, the McLarens are not great at straight line speed. That's what Andrea Stella was talking about. That's what Zach Brown was talking about. Okay, fine. 20 seconds in the Red Bull of 2025 on the McLaren of 2025? Guys, let's just have it right. He's the best in the business. He's the best in the world. Pole and race winner. Bearing in mind in Monza, I think the last 3 or 4, 5 maybe races, the pole sitter didn't win the race. So Talk to me. How did he do this? And don't get me wrong, great battling with Lando Norris. The Formula One grid is so competitive, as it always is towards the end of a regulation. It was something to behold. Those first couple of laps in Monza, something to behold. We loved every ounce of it. We loved every minute. But Max Verstappen came out on top. Even though he, you know, at one stage he'd driven Lando Norris wide, he'd gone and cut the corner and blah, blah, blah. He gave the position back, didn't get a penalty. And then what, 20 seconds on the McLaren? Man, I'm so sorry, guys. Max Verstappen is the best in the world. And he cements it. You know, there's been a couple of times this season when he's got pole position, I said, how? How has he done this? And even this weekend, when he got pole position, guess what we would, you know, if you're watching it on TV, guess what was occupying our eyes? Was the McLaren Lando Norris garage, watching his family. Meanwhile, I'm seeing purple from Max Verstappen, P1. And I, you know what, Martin Brundle, I could see that he was trying to rescue it, because he was like, watch out for George Russell, because it was like, look, people were putting in lap times after lap times after lap times, and we were not watching the coverage. F1 TV directive, let's have a conversation. Because this is not the first time. People have complained about the F1 TV directive for months, for races now. But how is Max Verstappen still doing this? How is he still credible in a car that clearly isn't the best? Max Verstappen is the greatest. He's the best in the world right now. He is the best in the world right now. There's a picture of Max Verstappen when he's just standing on top of his car and he's staring at the McLaren. It must have been Silverstone when it was the chrome livery kind of thing. I think it might have been the pole position, and he's standing on top of it. I'm thinking, yo, Max Verstappen is gangster. This man is grease. And when you put out performances like he's done this season, forget, you know what? When Red Bull was the most dominant car, he was winning 20 races out of 24. All right, cool, and it is what it is. You're great. It's like Schumacher when Ferrari were in their high days. Cool. What impresses me is when you're not the best in terms of car on the grid, but you pull out performances like this. You put McLaren to sleep. You tell Ferrari, this is not. We know what you like to do on a Monza weekend. You like to tune up the bass. This is not going to happen on my watch. Unbelievable. Max Verstappen is like, no, I'm not having this. And just watch out, man. As much as we talk about Mercedes engine for 2026, we talk about the McLaren. What can Ferrari do? This, that, and the other. You guys are not paying attention to Max Verstappen. And you heard the crowd in Monza singing his name. He's got the streets on a chokehold. And Italy, in Italy of all places, nothing else but red. Nothing else but red. Nothing else but Ferrari. And he's there standing on the top step of the podium. They're singing his name. Max Verstappen. Da, 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 da. Unreal. Unreal from the Tifosi. But it goes to show you the grandeur. Now, don't get me wrong, there was not a Ferrari driver on the podium, so maybe if there was a Charles Leclerc or a Lewis Hamilton, it might have been a different conversation. But it wasn't. They were booing Norris out the building. I'm guessing Piastri's got a bit of that Italian heritage, you know, grandparents and whatnot. They let him slide. But Max Verstappen was getting the cheer of the century. Because he's the greatest. He's the best in the business right now. Comment down below if you think I'm chatting good stuff or rubbish. Let me know. Let's talk about how great Max Verstappen is in the comment section. Or let's talk about who else is in this conversation. YouTube thinks you'll like this video over here. But my God, what a performance from Max Verstappen. The best in the business. Until next time, lights out.